audience might not agree with this, but that's just like Izayama being a Chad and saying that he really does not bow down to shippers at all, because like you literally have to pay for this volume, like volume 34, and
Uh-huh.
not only does it like literally well destroy quote unquote uh EM's shipping and everything. It also
But did
has
she?
her
But did she
moving on
really
with
move on?
another man.
But did she really move on though?
Yeah,
What makes you think she
like
moved
also,
on?
I feel like this is something I feel like a lot of. She was visiting him on his death anniversary, and as much as
Every
Aaron's
single
done
year,
awful, awful things,
every single year
he
for decades. Would you be comfortable with your wife visiting her ex boyfriend's deathbed
Aaron's not
for?
exactly her ex-boyfriend,
Okay,
A, and
okay,
B.
that's fair enough. That's
John
fair
is
enough.
also John has always set up this
Okay.
relationship with Aaron. It's
Well,
like
we don't know that's John.
I
We don't
mean,
know that's John.
it's most likely Jean because it's like not only is he wearing like the same outfit that
That's
he was
still.
wearing in
That's,
season 4 episode 1 also had like him wearing a similar outfit.
yeah,
But
but that's an
anyway,
assumption.
regardless of whether it's Jean or not,
Yeah.
she I think it also is fair for her to be able to pay respects to Aaron because even if Aaron's like done awful things and I'm not
Okay,
going to
but why?
dismiss that
Why is she wearing his scarf still? Like even when she's getting buried, why is she still wearing his scarf?
because I don't know it's anyway
The scarf
because
is
she's
clearly
still
now a it's not a familiar bond anymore. The scarf means a romantic bond between them. So if that's like the
I
same thing
mean
as like
to be
wearing your
fair wait
ex
let me
husband's wedding ring.
I mean on one hand I understand like people are saying oh yeah this and that but on the other hand it's also her like bond and again like you're saying it's her bond to Aaron.
Yes,
Aaron
but it's a
is
romantic
still
bond now, though. But it's a romantic bond now. It's not a familiar. It's not a family thing anymore. The scarf has become a romantic thing.
I mean, yeah, can people who are like widows not have like, marry, move on, but still keep
Okay,
a
so
key piece from there? I mean, it's just like
but
it's
yeah,
that kind
keep
of
it. But
thing.
keep it is one thing, but wearing it every day is another thing. So
I mean,
if you were dating someone, right? I don't know, guy. I don't know who you date, but if you were dating someone, if you had a partner, and that person was wearing, let's say, the hoodie of the person that they got previously, and they wear that hoodie all the time, it's their favorite hoodie. Wouldn't like be like, damn, that's kind of, you know.
I mean, I feel like if I'm getting upset over them wearing a key piece of their ex or of like somebody that they loved and they died, I feel like it'd just be a total bitch if I was like saying,
Oh,
"Oh
so it's
yeah,
because they're
you
dying. Well,
should."
what if they were alive? What if they were alive?
I mean, we're talking about Attack on Titan.
I
Aaron
know, but
is
what if they
dead.
were alive? I'm just asking. What if they were alive?
I mean, I'd say I'd be that'd be a slightly different story because then obviously I'd be it would be weird for them to have like an emotional bond.
So
But at
why
the
is it
same
okay to
time,
have an emotional bond with someone who's dead and not someone who's alive?
because somebody who's dead, the dead can't exactly like make like move on or see another girl or do another thing. They're kind of just dead. They're like soldiers of war. If somebody dies of war, they're still like their feelings and everything for them aren't necessarily just diminished.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So how do you feel about the fact that she's the one that killed him? Don't you think that's kind of like
It's
weird, like to be?
I mean, it was literally the most foreshadowed event of all time.
I'm not saying
Like
this. I'm not
chapter
saying it's bad
1.
writing. I'm not saying it's bad writing that she killed him. What I'm saying is, isn't it kind of weird for her to be acting like, you know, this guy, he loved me, I loved him, but she's the one that actually killed him.
Yes, and honestly, the thing is also, I like to say this is like, I was on Titanfall and debating this a lot, but the reason that Mikasa killed him is that honestly, it shows that as much as she does love him, and she does love him, she's not bound by him, and she's not going to necessarily accept him to kill the rest of the world. And uh,
What makes Mikasa put the rest of the world over Eren? When did that
she's,
happen?
I mean, Uprising, she put her mission, and actually, this is actually partially about what I do not like about the anime adaptation. Uprising, she's and actually for most of from and also female Titan arc, she puts her trust in her comrades, her family, and everything. And Eren and her entire conflict actually has been about following her heart and what she wants, like being with Eren, having like not being in war, just like relaxing and stuff, and following her orders as a soldier, which is to defend paradise, to to stop the
But
genocide
she
of
went
like
against being a soldier multiple times for Aaron. She was more than happy
she went
to
against a soldier. I mean, did she? Because
multiple
Trust,
times.
actually, Trust, she's, for example, I'm just using it as an example. She, in fact, went above and beyond to
No,
solve
she
it.
left
Yeah, she did.
she left them on their own, just because she was crying because Aaron was dead.
She didn't even know Aaron was dead at that point.
Which part are you talking about? You talking about after
She
she found
literally
out or before?
threatened to gut Daimo Reeves. Is it?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
Daimo
talking
Reeves.
about before Aaron died, or before she found out Aaron died. Yeah, she was doing her
She did.
thing as a soldier without Aaron being involved at all. True, but once she found out Aaron died, she didn't care about them anymore. She
What are
even
you
reflected on
talking
it.
about?
So okay, after she found
She
out Aaron died,
she ended up immediately making a plan to storm an entire thing, cut down dozens of Titans, so her soldiers. And while yes, I do understand what you mean by like her
no, she
saying that,
literally
oh
had a
yeah, she
self
was left in.
reflection. She literally had a self reflection and said, she literally said these words: "I had no regard for their lives. I went in without any regard for their lives." She was like, "I
Yeah,
shouldn't have done
because
that,"
she was
because she was hurt
because
about
again
Aaron.
she was over emotional because at that
Yeah,
point
yeah,
she was in, but at that point afterwards
yeah.
I
Afterwards,
don't
she
really see
realized
her
it.
doing female Titan arc. She immediately learns from that, she listens to orders, and she follows her
No,
the orders
she
given to
went
her.
after Aaron when Levi told her not to, and that's why
No,
Levi
I'm
broke his leg.
okay, yeah, that's fair, but at the same time, I'm saying after like later parts of the female Titan arc, she does actually when during later parts of the female Titan arc, she does like her entire thing has been like listening to her orders and following her heart. That's a conflict she deals with and has to deal with. Uh, okay. Uh, she has to.
Like when she was trying to take the serum from Levi.
Yeah, there's also RTS. Yeah. She was
She
wanting
was
to try
listening
to
then.
not okay. That is also again, it's a conflict. It's a conflict of whether she wants to follow her heart or follow her orders. That is something that she continually faces. And I understand what you're talking about, but that also, I'd say, actually adds to her thing that she's not just an Aaron simp. She cares a lot about people, and she was willing to lose not only her.
She was willing to leave all of them behind. She would have left with
When
Aaron if Aaron had asked her to. She would have left
did
all of
she?
them to die. She would have.
Oh wait, oh you're talking about season one where she's
No,
like,
no, no, no. I'm
oh
talking about
yeah,
the
she's talking about it season one. Yeah, I get that because in season one I do admit she's rather obsessive, and I'm not gonna
and in Aaron's vision too. An Aaron vision that he
Aaron's
gave her.
vision.
Yeah, she would have went with him. She would have happily left and
Actually,
let
wait,
everyone die.
uh, that's not a vision. I actually seeing which that's not actually what happened. It's not an alternative timeline or whatever.
I'm
It's
not
just
saying
a
that. I said it's a
memory
vision.
that.
Yeah, a vision. Aaron gave her. I mean, vision is another way to say it. Memory, whatever you want to say. Aaron gave her this little memory that happened when it really didn't, just so he could tell her to forget
Uh,
about him. But she would have gone. So what?
she would have gone.
She would have left.
There's I mean, besides, like, I understand that you're saying about, like, oh, yeah, it was her idea. But at the same time, it's also, like, she's also shown also that she's willing to stop Aaron. And actually, in season one, I actually really love this about season one, where Aaron, like, Mikasa freaking punches Aaron for calling Armin a parasite. And actually, I feel like that does
Yeah,
add a
yeah.
lot to her
Yeah.
character.
Back when she was a good character, yeah, that was great.
I could say, okay, that's a little far. Because in the Rumbling arc, she ends up, you know, stopping him.
Yeah,
And
but
I
why
understand
though?
where you're coming from, but it's
I just
like,
don't feel like
I,
I just don't
season
feel like
one, she has her most obsessive tendencies, and so I don't know what you mean by like when she was a good character. She was way
because
more obsessive, way more clingy, and way more caring about Aaron than anyone else in season one.
yeah, but that
Season
doesn't
two,
make
she
her a bad
really
character. Those traits don't make her a bad character. What makes her a good character is that she wouldn't like you said, she wouldn't bend to Aaron's will. If Aaron was wrong, she'd call him out on his shit.
and
That's a good
she
character. When
does.
no, she doesn't. And at the table scene, she didn't call him out on anything.
Table scene, she
She didn't
okay,
call him out
this
on
is gonna
anything.
be
That's the only
something I
time
do.
they
Can I
talked.
talk for a bit? 1 sec. It's just the table scene. She's literally dealing with every system imaginable, literally crumbling around her. So, so understand that she's literally in the worst mental state that she can be in. B, Aaron literally just like had deserted her, Armin, and a bunch of her guys, and led to the death of like a lot of the people that they were supposed to serve and they were supposed to listen to. Like, I don't think anybody would. I don't think anybody would have been able to act in a better or worse,
Okay.
better way than
All right.
Mikasa did because
I'll give
she's
you that.
literally
I'll give you
dealing
that.
with
All right. So
so much mentally.
what about when what about when they first saved Aaron from when he attacked Liberio
She
and
says
and
how
she
bad
tries no she no no
she
no no no
says
no no
how
I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about when they got back on the airship and Levi's beating the shit out of him and she goes in to try to
uh
stop it again
of
and Armin holds
course
her back.
just because
If
again
Armin hadn't
what
held her back, what would she have done?
again just because Mikasa this is my
That doesn't
point.
sound like
It,
someone who puts orders over love to me.
the thing that's not what she the thing is, here's my point. It's not that she puts orders over love, it's that it's a conflict that she constantly has to deal with. That's
Okay.
what I mean. It's not like she chooses one or the other because or and
But
she's
she
like,
had to
"Oh,
choose
I'm
one or the other
only
at the end. She had to choose one or the other.
yes, but it's something she has to deal with over like choosing her heart or choosing her orders over the course of the series.
Okay.
And trust or
So you think like
her
so basically what you're saying is like the climax of that was the ending, was the final choice.
The climax of that was 138 because the first flashback and everything where he's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know if you'd survive or not, etc., etc." Where he's like, that's actually at 131. So he's not talking about like, "Oh, I didn't know if you'd survive the rumbling itself." He's talking about he brought them into a like a world, basically a world war, and War of Paradise is roughly what that is. So he's saying about how he's and also, I'd say it's so 138 for her. I feel like is the climax, and I feel like 139 is wrapping up some of the lesser plot threads, like or actually not say lesser, I'd say great. I'd say Dinah like eating Carla is a pretty big thread, but I'm not gonna get into that.
So how do you feel
And
about her kissing Aaron's decapitated skull?
I feel like if it's I don't really. I'm kind of indifferent on that. At least I don't really get. Also, what is some of your guys in their server? No offense, are kind of weird.
Don't pay attention to them. So you think you're indifferent on that. So you don't feel like that was a romantic scene.
I mean,
You
honestly,
don't
I
think that
felt
was
like
kind of weird.
I was really. I feel like it's like. I was like, at first, I was like, AOT is like shown very a lot weirder and a lot more gross things.
Like what? Like
So,
what? Give me one example.
crush it, Ramsey, a
That
kid
wasn't
being
more
crushed
disgusting than
alive.
that.
Yeah, I think exposed body, brains, and
Mm-mm.
loose internal organs is more gross to me, at least, than
Then
somebody
kissing a dead
kissing.
skull
Yeah.
and,
Also,
and
okay,
without his consent.
consent. Yeah, he did consent. What? What is
He
that
didn't
supposed to mean?
consent. He didn't consent to being kissed.
What do you mean?
He didn't consent to being kissed.
What? Kind of did,
When?
considering their
He didn't
flashback where he's
consent
like
in that
feeling.
flashback either.
What? What are you saying? He's like the see you later Aaron memory that is and also I feel like that's necrophilia. Dude, can you shit? Like, I'm not sure. My point is that yes, it was misconceived. I don't get like literally he's closing his eyes and he's kissing her. It's weird, but it's like not the weirdest thing shown in the series, even up till that point. And nor does it like does nobody remember the Uprising arc where like Armin got groped and like physically
Yeah, but at least
assaulted,
he was
and then
alive.
like the guy
At least he was
the guy
alive. At least he was actually he was alive, and the guy and it was shown that the guy was a
oh,
fucking
oh
weirdo.
yeah, Zach. Oh yeah,
That guy was
Zachary's
actually a
shit
weirdo.
machine.
I
All
still think
right, I was like,
I still think that was more disgusting.
oh
But
my God, I
okay, I
forgot
still
about
think
the
that was more
Zachary
disgusting.
shit machine. I don't know why I did. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
I took that
sorry,
out of my
Angel.
memory.
I just I okay. Anyways, yeah, that is like much more weird thing because like basically he's like upside down and he's like it is so freaking weird. It's just like some of the weird.
Okay, so do you think that Aaron was retconned?
No,
So you think this was his
130 and
intention?
130. 130 and 131 already said this. And before people say about oh Sasha or what is her
What's her
Sasha or
name?
Hanji,
Hanji. Yeah.
before you say that, he said that from what he said, he doesn't seem to have control over them. Ymir does. Ymir is like in 135. I think it was either 133 or 135. It's one of those two chapters. But he says, but the guys are like saying, there's no way that Aaron's in full control over this. And when they're descendant, it's like, wait, he said that he just let us, and it was up to us. So that means that there's somebody else controlling the Titans, and someone else controlling the what is it called? Somebody else controlling the nine Titan shifters with like past Titan shifters. It was showing about, and also I remember in the back of Volume 32. Actually, I actually recently got a copy of it. For your friends, for your dreams, trample the world, no matter what may be underfoot. It's, and I understand that there's going to be later, but I'll address that later. It says very firstly for your friends and for your dreams. Like it's been showing, and also in 131, I've said this line so many times. I I wanted to save paradise, but more than that, the world inside the world outside the walls was nothing like I saw in Armin's book.
Okay.
When I
So
saw
right, we
that
know the quote.
humanity existed out.
So you believe that the reason why Aaron did what he did was primarily and secondarily to save Parody and his friends and all that, but primarily because he wanted to wipe the world clean.
That is part of, but again, that is his dreams. But I'm saying like
Yeah, that's
it's
his
first
dream. That's what he really wants to
friends.
do.
Actually,
So
I would
primarily is
actually
to save Parody then. Like
no.
what do you
I'm
believe
saying
is
apparently
primary?
is his primary goal
Right.
is to for his friends. Actually, this is a fantastic analysis I've got from an anime only who was actually watching the table scene. He was saying, okay, can you hear guys like so? Anyway, so he was saying about how if Aaron really wanted to say if he really hated them, wanted to distance himself from them, he should have been like, you know what? Come closer, come into the battle. Make sure you're as close to me as possible so you can be as associated with me as possible. So you will have an even bigger target on your head, and you also make sure that nobody will be able to say, see you as somebody who's not connected or somebody who is hated by Aaron. He could have put himself in the closest position so when these guys eventually, well, Armin either gets injured or Mikasa dies because Mikasa doesn't have exactly a Titan shifter. It would be a point where he could have no ability to say put them into a situation where they could stop him. He could very easily done that actually, and he could have just by just simply keeping them close, he would have put a huge target on their backs. But he didn't. Instead, in the table scene, he literally punches Armin,
No, Armin
basically
punched him
makes,
first.
well, yeah, but he's at the same time. My point is that instead he tries very hard to distance himself from
Yes.
Mikasa and Armin.
Yeah,
He
poorly,
calls
but
them
he
mean
does.
things, calls
Yeah.
Mikasa a slave, and obviously,
It was
actually, it
dumb,
was like
but
now
it was forced
back
and
in
cliche, but
112. I don't know why I didn't think this, but I was reading 112 and I was like, oh yeah, maybe it's like, but then it's like the anime onlys were just like so much smarter than I was, and it's just like, of course. Of course, Aaron doesn't hate Mikasa or Armin. He
yeah, obviously.
literally
Obviously, you know, it's that's why I think that him pushing him, trying to push them away that way was just dumb. Like it makes no sense. Nobody would have believed
But
that.
the point
But
is,
but the
it
point is that
does
he
make
tried. The
sense
point
if
is
he
that he tried to
wants
push them
to.
away. The point is that he tried to push them away. Granted, but my question is, why push them away?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. Because he wants to make sure, again, like I said, that they're not associated with him. When everybody's like on Titanfall keeps complaining, oh, Armin nuked all of Paradise or something. But they don't know that. Most of the people who are on Paradise, who are to see like, or not on Paradise, in Liberio, when Armin transformed to kill all the people on the port and on there, don't know that he literally nuked Liberio.
No, they do
And
know.
frankly,
There's no
it's
way
not in
they
their
couldn't know.
interest.
There's no way they couldn't have known that he did that. They
Couldn't have
know.
known. No.
They know he
Margaret,
has the
who's
colossal
like
titan.
most of the people in the military of Marley has been killed. 80% of humanity. That is
Right, but the ones that are
not an
still alive,
insignificant number.
but the ones that are still alive know that Armin is the colossal titan. He literally told them, "I am Armin, the one who killed Eren Yeager." How do they think he killed him with his hands?
I mean, he is wearing
You think
he's
he
wearing
killed the
ODM
fucking? You
gear,
think that he
and
killed that fucking largest titan in the world with ODM gear?
I mean, yeah, these guys they saw their power in Marley in season 4 or the Marley arc, how powerful these guys were able to do against the Jaw Titan, the
Yeah,
Warhammer.
the titans
And
that
I
were
mean, I
like a
guess the
fraction
Warhammer
of the
mostly fell
size.
because of the Nutcracker scene, but they saw how freaking powerful and how much they underestimated Paradise as a force, as a military force. And Porco himself is like saying, "Wait, these guys have no reaction to me being a Titan shifter because these guys have literally dealt with Titans all of their lives." And actually, even I made a meme about this saying, oh, Marley sends all of their Titans to Paradise to try to wipe them out. Paradise becomes really fucking good at killing Titans. Surprise Pikachu face to Porco. But
Okay, so all right,
that's
but
my
let's
point.
get back on topic. So you think that the reason why Aaron did primarily the primary reason why Aaron did the rumbling was what?
For his friends to live long lives, like he
Okay,
said
then why
in
didn't he kill everyone?
130.
Then why didn't he kill everyone?
Because that wouldn't have solved everything. And
It would have
honestly,
solved more than leaving 20% alive.
I'm going to. Okay, so I'm going to be. I'm a history nerd, and also something like. Uh, I was something who. Something of like a history nerd for myself. But anyway, every time like when there's like of like the British the Revolutionary War and how it was started, it was not a revolution, or it was barely a revolution compared to some like the French Revolution or the Chinese Communist Party taking over China. But at the same time, through propaganda and like a distancing of the uh, British and the American mindset, he was able to convince that the Sons of Liberty were able to convince that not only was Paradise not only sorry, not only was the British the evil, the country that was wanting them dead and they should declare independence, but they also faced they also faced a lot of people like uprising because of their propaganda to fight against what
Right,
was their
right.
people, the
But
British
if
people
they're
at
all
that.
dead, if they're all dead, then they can't uprise.
here's my point. What's gonna stop? Actually, there's like two things I have to bring up. One, how do you know Aaron's gonna be able to kill everyone?
He could have
The thing is,
easily.
here's something. You know how like this is
It might have been
gonna
like
be a
five
spoiler
people
place.
alive, but they would have died eventually
Would they? Because
without
there's
being
like
able to
not
breed.
only
Without
is
being
there
able to breed,
underground,
they wouldn't be able to breed.
it's not like the atmosphere destroyed. It's not like the atmosphere is destroyed. In fact, actually, I mean, I guess carbon dioxide would be higher, but they